Now, I feel like I've made it quite clear across a number of videos that I have no time for playing with other people, and I like playing games on my own, in the dark, and that's it. But when it comes to multiplayer, the one game that I actually played so much and enjoyed a lot was Evolve.
Oh, God!
Ash, you like what you want to like.
Oh God, this is horrible having such an audience. I mean, yeah, literally, it's usually just me and Rich going, oh, it's the end. But yeah, no, I thought Evolve was great. I love that you could play as the monster, and there is so many better multiplayer modes, but I just loved Evolve. Because it literally was just playing as a monster with other people hunting you down, and you being like, yo, I'm a big ass beast. And then you have all the different options of beast you could be. And it was just good fun, and I worked really hard to unlock all the skins and the different things for it. And the judgment is real in this room, and I don't like it.
That's actually quite a tough one because there's quite a few good ones. There's one actually in a game that you wouldn't expect it to be, and it's actually bloody brilliant, and that's in Mass Effect 3. The multiplayer mode from that, where it's like a sort of wave defense thing, and you get different objectives every couple of rounds, and you had tons of different classes. That was actually brilliant because I didn't expect there to be a good multiplayer mode in a very single-player heavy game. But you got to play as a Volus. That's right, you got to play as the big, fat, short, tubby-looking, psychic-powered, mask-breathing Darth Vader cuck. It was brilliant. Absolutely loved it.
Darth Vader was like a little potato.
Yeah, there was a very unflattering look, really. And apparently, according to some sort of inside sources, the inside of their suits smells awful. So yeah, that's good to know, isn't it?
Like your suit.
My skin suit is none of your business, Ash. All right, you keep your ginger clam business to yourself.
Listen, the ginger clam.
You are a ginger clam. You are a ginger clam.
In my opinion, the best multiplayer is cooperative. I mean, I'm all up for killing people, but I'd rather work together with them. Why can't we all just love each other and get along and be cooperative? In particular, local multiplayer, I'm going to talk about that today because I've got such fond memories of playing things like Mario Party, with my sisters, and things like Diddy Kong Racing and stuff like that on the N64. Come to think about it, playing Mario Party, there wasn't much cooperating going on there, more slapping in the face, but local multiplayer is pretty good. Another one I want to highlight is Diablo 3 as well, just because it recently got re-released on the Switch and I've been sucked back into that vortex again for the third time. But yeah, it's got really, really good local multiplayer, and I played through it with a friend a couple of years back on the PlayStation, and we sat and we got from Act 1 to Act 5 in it took us about 6 hours or something. We were sort of blinking after it going where did the day go? It's brilliant, it's great. Cooperative all the way, in particular local multiplayer.
Remember that time we were on stream in Portal 2 and you squashed me?
Yes, exactly.
So you like to play cooperative and not kill people?
Exactly, tons of fun. For me.
Okay, so Black Ops 1 wager matches. I was going to say party games. It was wager matches. It was the only COD to have them, and they had the best game modes. But the one I'm going to pick out, the one that I played the most, was Sticks and Stones. And you jumped into any map with, I think it was only 6 people. You had a crossbow, a ballistic knife, and tomahawks, and you just fought it out. You had to gamble money to get into the game. You had to kill each other. If you finished in the top 3, you were in the money, and you got some money back. And it was just great fun. And you could do them in custom games as well, and private matches, and you can join these games as lobbies, and it was great fun. They never brought them back. Well, actually, they did in Black Ops 2 as just a party games playlist, but from there, they never came back again. Except for occasionally bringing back Gun Game, which is currently on in Black Ops 4, but you can't join in parties, you can't do it in custom games, and it's just shit. But that was the glory days of party games in Call of Duty, and Sticks and Stones was my favourite.
Hello, viewer.
Hello, hi everyone. Hi, awkward viewer held in complete captivity as I get to drone on about my favourite multiplayer game ever, which is Splinter Cell Chaos Theory with Spies versus Mercs, because don't we all just love grabbing that random merc who's been chasing you down all night and then walking up to them and whispering sweet nothings into their ear as you choke them out and then hack all their data. Scott knows what I'm talking about.
It was the best thing ever.
Yeah, see, so Spies vs Mercs was very great. I was debating between that and Siege's bomb mode because that is a great barrel of laughs when you're not being Ash-mained to constantly. But then there is also another game that I want to talk about, which is Halo 3 and custom games, because if you ever played custom games in Halo 3, you'll know the absolute banter that ensued in those game modes. You had infection game types where you could change the speed of a zombie to be like this lightning quick Sonic the Hedgehog-esque demon of awful death, and then they lunge after you, and you had the sandbox map, and you could create loads of cool stuff in Forge. It was just really good time. You'll know the fat kid game type, Rich.
I was always the fat kid.
I'm going to have to go with Halo's Big Team Battle, the mode that only got better as that franchise went on, because we don't count Halo 5, or to some degree 4, even though I do, and Josh does. But that original trilogy, though, is phenomenal, and the Big Team Battle that's in Halo 2 and 3, it resonated so much with me because it was the first time that I took that franchise online in Halo 2. And there's a map called, I think it's called Blood Gulch, which is just this big valley-based thing with these bases on either side, and I just lived on that. Just me and a load of people from Wigan, who I didn't even know where Wigan was. But yeah, and they loved it, and so team, he was called like Mr. Rocket, I think he was called. If you're out there, then you, and it was good. And so yeah, Big Team Battle on Halo 2, and then Halo 3. Oh, just brilliant. The sheer size of the maps and the weapons that you could have, the way the movement works in Halo. I adore Halo, and Big Team Battle is the perfect version of that game.
Left 4 Dead 2 as well.
Okay.
I mean, that is the quintessential multiplayer experience for me.
Why 2 and not 1?
Well, 1 is perfectly reasonable. It's brilliant, in fact. But 2 involved obviously the melee weapons. You had lots more sort of and Coach as well. Gotta grab them vitamins. Whatever he says. That was like an amalgamation of every single character there.
It's Red Dead's effect on you.
It's such a good game, and the fact that you can mod it as well, and you can have all the hunters play as the bad guys. I think that for me is exactly what I look for, because it's tactical, it's stressful. There's tons of guns around. It reminds me of my own bar mitzvah, really. I'm not Jewish.
Another multiplayer that I'm going to shout out and will hopefully get a better reaction is Nidhogg, because there we go. That's amazing. That's such good fun. And a little bit of jabbing, a little bit of fencing, running around the fiery pits of hell is always fun. So Nidhogg, yes. Evolve, yes, but no more, because the servers are a bit dry now. So.
Secondly, kill your friends in Dead by Daylight, where you can kill your friends. Jump in as a killer and bring some friends and kill them.
You know what that sounds like? Evolve, going in as a killer and doing fun things with other people.
Oh no, don't even. No.
Do you get to turn invisible? Do you get to put reverse bear traps on people? Do you get to scare the living shit out of Rach?
I hate you, Rich.
No, you didn't. So, Dead by Daylight, kill your friends wins. Sorry.
Well, I've thought a lot about this one, and
Hey Josh, just thought I'd pop in and just say, your answer is Time Splitters 2, isn't it?
why?
Because I forgot to say it in my one.
Why is it always me?
Because you're my sexy little messenger. I'll be watching.
Well, I thought long and hard about this. I thought about Hardcore Headquarters from Call of Duty 4, Bomb from Siege, Time Splitters 2, but I decided on Heists from Grand Theft Auto. It is objectively not the best multiplayer mode of all time, but it is the most fun multiplayer mode of all time. As a conduit for pure, unfiltered banter, this thing is up there with the very best of them. It took like a year for Rockstar to even roll out this mode. Like, they were teasing Heists are coming, you can play them with your friends. We didn't get them until the year after it actually shipped. But when they arrived with a bang, and you could go in and rob banks, and it took absolutely forever to plan these things. You had to do set of missions before you actually could rob the thing you were planning to rob, and then you could dish out the door however you wanted. It was a little bit like Payday 2, but even more sort of obtuse and unfun. And I know I'm not selling it right now. It doesn't sound fun because a lot of this is spent in loading screens and trying to get set-up missions, which are really, really hard, and you have to have 4 people. And if there's only 2 of you, you have to invite strangers, which takes forever because the matchmaking system is bad. But when you actually do get rid of all that shit and get into a game, it is just hilarious. GTA's physics-based controls are incredibly fun, and these missions can take hours and hours to pull off. And when you do it, there is an intense sense of victory, but that only comes after ages of trial and error. Like, you cannot do these missions first time. And if you do it with a complete clan, it feels incredible. So, like me and my friends did the very last one. It took us literally months to get to the very last one. And you rob the bank, and you have to do an escape mission where you're on bikes, and you have to like get to the other end of the extraction point. And we spent literally hours trying and failing to do this. We kept getting knocked off by cops. We kept losing all the money, and we finally got there. We're parachuting down to the boat. Victory is in sight. We're all on the boat. There was one man left to get out. We can see him on the top. He's there. Police. He's evaded the police. He jumps off, parachutes in. We can see victory is in sight. We're shooting off flares. Whoa! We've finally done it. He comes down, twats into a tree branch. He goes falling. He falls for what feels like forever. He just hits the ground. Game over. GTA Online. I don't even know why I put it in here.
And another one as well, it would have to be Gears of War's Horde mode, because I wish more. I mean, there was a burst across the late 2000s where every game had a Horde mode. Even Halo had one for a bit. But the one that's in Gears 2 and especially Gears 3, you've got to survive like 50 waves or 60 waves of enemies. And the more you get into it, especially in 3, they started bringing the main campaign's bosses back in. So it just got ridiculously hard. But no mode has ever forced you to work like cooperatively. And also you've got all the bullet sponge kind of like, I don't know, like loot grindy style bosses, and you're going up against them. You've got to use all your tactics, different weapons, different strategies. If one person goes down, then you need to resurrect them, and you sort of come together as a team of friends, whether it be local-based multiplayer or online, to get through it. And it takes hours as well. So like, I still have a fond memory of like staying up until 2 a.m. because we got to like wave 40, and it was like, well, we're either going to keep going and do this the whole way, or we're going to go to bed, and we ain't going to go to bed. So we just kept going and eventually beat it at like 3:30 or 4 or whatever it was, and it was one of the best memories in my gaming time on this earth. So yeah, Gears of War's Horde mode.
COD points are a serious currency.
Have you felt the call?
Do not waste your COD points in gambling like I did. I lost everything.
Except this. Oh man.
Next time.
All of his